David, on page 82 of your book, you have a story number 43 that's titled, "You're Never Off Duty." What's the story behind the story?
Jim, that's a really interesting one, and it has an interesting story to it, which we'll talk about in a minute. But it's about the necessity always to ensure that everybody in your firm is representing your brand in a very positive way. In this particular case, it was a lady who had recently bought a house which she wanted to renovate, and the house had 4 Georgian chimneys on each corner of the house, so big chimney stacks, all of which needed repairing. And she's driving along one day, not very far from her home, and she overtakes on the dual carriage on the freeway. She overtakes a van which has got a sign on the side about chimneys. Obviously, people that can repair chimneys, etc. So at the next stoplight, she leans out and she looks at the number on the side of the vehicle, and she makes a note of the number of the vehicle, and that's it. The traffic lights change, and the guy driving the van cuts her up because he's suddenly realized he needs to turn off here and he needs to get across in front of her. So he cuts her up. She was pretty cross about it, so she followed them. And when they stopped at the next traffic light, she wound her window down and indicated she wanted to speak to the driver, and told the driver what she thought of his driving. And she got a mouthful of sexist abuse. I mean, just a mouthful. So she went home that night. She found the email address of the managing director of the company who does the chimney repairs, and wrote him an email explaining to him that she wouldn't be using his company's services because of an incident with some of his work colleagues. She went on to have the house renovated and the chimneys rebuilt by somebody else. But that company lost several $1,000s worth of work simply because one of its employees behaved badly. Not only should you always remember where you are, but when you do remember where you are, make sure you represent your company and your brand in a very positive way.